Good morning, my friends. Welcome to another Stretch and Flow Devotional. I'm always excited and grateful to be here with you here in our community together here on our yoga mats where we get to start our morning or whenever you might be watching or listening to this class. We get to move and breathe and stretch all to the promises of God through his word. So this morning I'm reading from the date of Jesus calling October 20th, and I thought we would start slowly and ease into this practice by starting on our backs. So if you would like to make your way back to the mat, feet to the floor, I will stay sitting up so I can read, but you make your way back to the mat, feet to the floor. You might want to bring your feet wide to the edge of your mat. Let your knees fall together like a teepee so that you don't need to hold up your legs. That might be supportive for you, okay? And again, I am reading from Jesus Calling, October 20th. I am your living God, far more abundantly alive than the most vivacious person you know. The human body is wonderfully crafted, but gravity and the inevitable effects of aging weigh it down. Even the most superb athlete cannot maintain his fitness over many decades. Lasting abundant life can be found in me alone. Do not be anxious about the weakness of your body. Instead, view it as the prelude to my infusing energy into your being. As you identify more and more fully with me, my life becomes increasingly entwined with yours. Through the process of aging continues, inwardly you grow strong with the passing years. Those who live close to me develop an inner aliveness that makes them seem youthful in spite of their years. Let my life shine through you as you walk in the light with me. 1 John 1:7. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his son, cleanses us from all sin. I'm going to join you here, down on the floor. If you aren't already with feet wide, you might do that. Widen your feet to the edge of the mat and start to move your knees and hips from side to side. Move your knees and hips side to side. Let's start with some gentle movement to wake up the body. Find a rhythm, create a rhythm of movement. See how that feels to bring you some comfort this morning. Back and forth, side to side. Warm up the hips, the lower spine. Good. Now let's draw the knees in close to the body. Wrap your arms and we'll rock and roll some more. That side to side rhythm motion, back and forth. And then turning your knees in a circle, gently press your tailbone towards the mat. After you've rotated one direction, you might try going the other. It's good for the body. It's good for the mind-body connection, challenge, moving both directions. All right, friends. And now if you want to let your body fall to one side, feel the ground support you on the sides of your body. Allow yourself to take time here with a few breaths. And then as you're ready, use your palms to press your body up, and we'll meet in simple seated. Here we are, simple seated. Get that quite right. There we go. All right, friends. Let's find that rotation around the firm foundation underneath us. That is our firm foundation. It does not change like shifting shadows. We can shift and move, right? But that foundation underneath us stays solid and secure. So let's feel that it's shifting both directions. And we'll come into the stillness of the body, the tall length of your spine. Imagine there's a string at the crown of your head and it's drawing your head up into the heavenly realms. Tailbones rooting for the earth, holding you steady. Let's begin to breathe. An inhale that lengthens your spine up. And exhale where you soften into your face and your jaw. Or inhale, lengthens the spine up. Exhale, soften face and jaw. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, soften face, jaw, and shoulders. 3 more like that on your own. Inhale to lengthen upwards. We exhale to soften face, jaw, shoulders. Nice work. Now let's begin to roll through the shoulders. I am your living God, far more abundantly alive than the most vivacious person you know. Who is the most vivacious person you know? Draw those shoulders up towards your earlobes. Send your shoulder blades back and down and low and loose. Tucking in that chin. You want to feel that straight line from tailbone up through the back into the crown of your head. Feel your head right in between your shoulders so your chin's not jutting forward, but you're in alignment. What does it feel like to be in alignment? And we'll turn the chin to the right and the left. Whether you turn to the right or turn to the left, you will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." I believe that's in Isaiah 30. Now with your head gazing forward, let's do our I Dream of Jeannie arms. So we bring the arms, elbows up as high as the shoulders. We make sure to check that those shoulders are low and loose. With your head and your hips pointing forward, we'll bring the elbows to the right and back, to the right and back. You might do this stretch a few times throughout your day. And I think you will notice how much it loosens up your neck. Eases tension in the front of clavicle. Everything's connected there to your neck. Releases tension in the neck. 3, 2, and over and back to the front. Let those I Dream of Jeannie arms come down and roll out the shoulders. Before we do the other side, let's do the nose drives the chin downward. The nose brings the chin and gaze up. Up and down we'll go. Three, 2, last one down and up. All right, I Dream of Jeannie arms again. Elbows as high as the shoulders. Shoulders are soft and away from your ears. Head and hips point forward, elbows to the left and back and left and back. And 3, and 2, and 1, and down, and roll the shoulders. All right, let's do the side to side again and just see if it feels like you have a little more mobility. You turn your chin to the right and the left. Knowing that you will hear a discerning voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." All right, friends, and we'll bring the head forward. Let's go into our seated side stretch. Right hand to the floor, to the right of your hip. We'll lengthen up on the left side. Ooh, lots of length to the left side of the body as you breathe up. Lots of length here, a few more breaths. Inhale, we lengthen up. Exhale, we'll lengthen over. Ooh, pulsing might feel good. And if you want to hold it over, feel that left sits bone stay glued to the mat as you reach over to the left. Maybe twisting your palm towards the sky, looking towards that palm. For faith is evidence of things unseen and the assurance of things to hope for. 3, 2, 1. We'll bring the arm back, roll the shoulders out. And seated side stretch on the other side, left hand to the floor, lengthen up on the right. Oh, we lengthen up with each inhale. Lengthen up, inhale. Lengthen over, exhale. Find that full extension over, reaching over. Right hip bone stays glued to the mat. Full extension over. And again, you might look this time beyond that right hand. We look beyond into the unseen, for we walk by faith and not by sight. 3, 2, 1. Bring the arm back and roll it out. All right, let's kick those feet out in front and find our seated staff. Maybe give those legs a shake. All right. Seated staff will draw the toes energetically back towards your body. Tailbone rooting for the earth. That string keeps drawing the crown of your head up, bringing length to your spine. And let's invite in that contentment of Paul. Invite contentment and ease into your face. As Paul said, he has found the secret of being content in all circumstances, whether well-fed or hungry, whether in need or in plenty. And he said the secret is, he says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Feel the strength you have in your body just to sit here in this seated staff posture. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Not by gritting into the teeth and jaw and working in your own might, but in His. So let's flow through our spine twist this morning. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, twisting right. The arms float down. And inhale up, twisting left. Inhale up, twisting right. Inhale up, twisting left. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows that full well. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows that full well. Let's do this one more each side. And then we'll lengthen up together and lengthen. Forward fold. Now you can bring some bend to your knees if you want to go into this forward fold with some ease. And maybe focusing on just lengthening through one leg at a time. Maybe your hands are to your knees. Maybe it's shins or ankles. Maybe it's toes. You find your forward fold stretch. And breathe. You made it here this morning. Look at you. Breathing, stretching, flowing. Colossians 1:29, for this I toil, struggling with all His energy, that He powerfully works within me. I don't know that I've ever read that verse. Colossians 1:29, for this I toil, struggling with all His energy, that He powerfully works within me. Toiling forward, reaching, energizing forward. 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the upper body up. Shoulders come up, 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 and back, and those hands behind your hips to support your upper body. And as you support your upper body, you might press one palm into the mat as you just switch over one palm then the other, finding openness across your heart and shoulders. We lift our hearts to you this morning, Father. We lift our hearts in praise. And then if it's safe for your neck, we can lift our chin and our gaze in praise this morning as well. We're looking up for those better days. Stretching into that side of your neck, that muscle right under your ear. It goes down the side of your neck. See if you can feel it, like you're stimulating that with a stretch. Because that's going to activate the vagus nerve, which activates our parasympathetic, calming, relaxing. Okay, let's go to widening the feet, edge of the mat again. Now you can do this still on your hands, or if you want to give your wrists a break, come down to your elbows. We'll swing the knees and hips side to side. I know some of you like to come down to your elbows. It does feel a little different. It does take the pressure off your wrists. Knees and hips, side to side. All right, so draw the hips back, straighten the legs out. We're going to go into seated staff spine twist, bringing the left leg over the right. Find your tall spine. Remember that ease, the contentment of Paul in your face. Left hand behind the left hip, the right arm can hug the knee or come across. Inhale, tall spine, exhale towards your left shoulder. Twist and breathe your pace. Colossians 1:29, for this I toil, struggling with all his energy that he powerfully works within me. Can you feel this effort? And your twist just has a little bit of toil, right? You're toiling, you're bringing effort to this. Struggling with all though his energy that he powerfully works within us. Struggling with his energy. What if we struggled with his energy and not our own? 3, 2, 1, releasing out of that. Bring the body back forward. You might shake your legs out. We'll bring the right leg over the left, setting up for our spine twist here. Right hand behind the right hip, left arm hugs the knee or comes across. Inhale, tall spine, exhale, right shoulder. And the spine twist. What's it like to take a peek behind you? What is it like just to take a courageous peek behind you? Remembering that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. 3, 2, 1, releasing it forward, unraveling the legs. Let's move into our tabletop. All right. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Let's start with the churning of the body. In fact, to churn the body, you might want your hands in front of your shoulders. Give yourself some more space. Churn like you're making a big giant O, not a zero, but an O, more oval, lots forward, side, and back. Snap, crackle, pop. And after one direction, you go the other. Good, and now with those hands already forward, we can bring the body forward and back. As you bring the body forward, it might feel good to press into one palm, peek over your opposite shoulder. This is also something that can be done on your elbows. And we'll bring it back to tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. All right, let's bring the right knee in center and send the left leg back. Get stable, 3 limbs to the mat. Tap the left toe to the mat, pulse it up and down, right back to that hip height. Down and up we go. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. As you're ready, the next challenge is to bring that right arm up. Find your reaching tiger here. We can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. Amen. For this I toil, struggling with all his energy that he powerfully works within me. Three, two, one, hand down, knee down. Let's go ahead, sit your hips back to your heels, bring your elbows to the mat and turn those wrists. And then we'll make our way back to tabletop. And we bring the left knee in center, send the right leg back. Getting stable, 3 limbs to the mat. Finding that contentment and ease in your face, even as we toil here. Right, we can still have the contentment and ease in our face. Right toe to the mat, pulse it up and down. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Hold. This could be your challenge this morning, or if you choose, bring that left arm up, 2 limbs to the mat. Feel the effort in the body, still holding that ease in your face. For this I toil, struggling with all of his energy that he powerfully works within me. Struggling with all his energy. 3, 2, 1, hand down, knee down. Let's bring the hips back to heels, elbows to the mat, prayer hands behind your head. And now with your body being still, notice the activity of your heart, your active breathing, and intentionally keep that breath active, nice and long and full on your inhale, nice, long and full on your exhale. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. Three, two, one. Let's come out of this. Sit. We'll sit back to our heels still in heroes. You have a pillow nearby or yoga block. It's often helpful to bring a pillow between your feet and your seat as we sit back into heroes. If this isn't a good option for you, go back to simple seated. All right, let's roll through the shoulders. We'll bring the hands in heart center and find a flow for our arms, for our heart, and our spirit. Here we go. Hands overhead. Extend the hands arm down. Inhale, lift them up. Connect overhead, draw them down. Inhale overhead. Exhale, extend them down. Inhale, lengthen up. Connect and draw down. You got it. Here we go. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Find your flow, your heart, your spirit, your verse. Inhale overhead. Exhale, extend down. One more time. Inhale overhead. Exhale, draw those hands down, heart center. Wonderful. Let's come out of our heroes and go into a toe stand. Now, if you have blocks, it's often helpful to use those blocks for your toe stand. With toe stand, our feet come under the hips. If you're using blocks, put them under right under beneath your knee there. We'll widen across the heart as we bring our palms open wide, facing forward, thumbs draw behind, and find your stability, strength, and balance here in toe stand. Toe stand's a perfect place to practice the effort in the body, right? Finding your stability, strength, and balance requires some effort. And instead of holding tension in the face and jaw, we intentionally bring in ease and a contentment, maybe even a smile to your face. Did you know smiling releases endorphins into your system? Who could use some more endorphins into their system? Just bringing a smile to your face. Breathing fully. On 3, we're going to move into supported forward fold. That means you're going to use your blocks or have your hands to the mat in front of you. 1, 2, 3, blocks move in front, hands to them or to the floor. Lift the hips, but keep enough bend to the knees so you have that firm connection with your hands. And then we move the body back and forth in supported forward fold. For God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and self-control. You feel the self-control and power you have in your body as you bring it forward and you don't fall flat on your face. As you bring it all back to your heels and you don't fall flat on your butt. He has given us power and self-control, agency over our body and life. And moving to complete forward fold would mean releasing your hands to your elbows. Let your upper body dangle over your low body and breathe. In forward fold, it might feel good to turn your torso and your forearms. Turn the torso, turn your forearms, and then go back to that forward fold release. Make sure to feel like your head and your neck are released here. Lots of full breaths. On 3, we're going to bring our hands to the tops of our thighs and slowly help bring the back up to standing. 1, 2, and 3. And if you get dizzy upon standing, bring your hands to the top of your head, pressing down. You might take a little freedom walk around your mat, right? We walk about in freedom. Psalm 119. I will meet you in strong mountain. There we go. Strong mountain will find a stable stance for our feet under our body. Roll out the shoulders. Bringing them up towards the earlobes. We send them back and down and low and low. Moving into our side stretch. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, side stretch right. Inhale, up. Side stretch left. Keep that going. One more each side. And bring those arms up. Let's bring the arms down to goalposts. All right. Elbows are as high as the shoulders, and the shoulders aren't caught up around the ears. We always bring our shoulders down away from the ears. Get real stable in your core and in your legs. We'll bring the elbows and hands in, pop your pecs and open it up. Keep that going. And of course, we don't want to grit our teeth through this, right? But have some ease, even a smile to your face in this effort. Three, two, last one, bringing elbows and hands in, opening up, lower your hands behind your low back, finding those hands back there, growing even stronger through your legs, even stronger in your core. So if it feels safe for you, you can look up, raise your chin, raise your gaze, open your heart and breathe. 3, 2, 1, release out of that. Shake out your arms. Maybe move your head in a rotation. That might feel good for the neck after that. Rotating one direction and then the other. Okay, facing the head forward. Let's do sun breaths this morning. Are you ready? Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale them down. Inhale up. Exhale down. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows that full well. We praise you, for we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. Our soul knows that full well. Three, two, last one, lift it up. Bring it down and roll the shoulders. Stepping your feet under the hips. We're going to do our slow Christian march. Hands either up as high as your shoulders. Although we've been holding the arms up quite a bit, you might bring them to your hips instead. Find your slow Christian march, bringing up one leg. Set it down, let it grow a root. Build, bring up the other. Find your strength, stability, and balance. But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his son, cleanses us from all sin. As we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. Isn't that interesting? We have fellowship with one another as we walk in his light. And 4, 3, 2, last one. Great work, ladies. It's time to make our way to the mat. I'll meet you back to the mat, feet to the floor. There we go. Back to the mat, feet to the floor. Oh, this is where we began, didn't we? Let your body sink up to sense the support it has underneath. See if you feel a little bit, just even a little bit of relief going. Not having to hold the weight of my body on one foot, but now God's grace and mercy, his firm foundation underneath you. And aligning for a bridge, our feet are to the mat, palms are to the floor. For bridge, we want to press through the feet, lift your hips and your heart. Get the back of your ribs off of the mat, arms under your body, pressing up, toiling, not in our own strength, but in his strength. Lift it up, ladies, and breathe. Three, two, one. We'll bring the hips down, draw the knees in, wrap your arms, and rock and roll. And 2 legs up the wall, palms to the mat. We'll bring those legs up, point and flex. Point and flex. Pressing now your heels up as you energetically draw your toes downward. Energetically draw your tailbone to the floor, your palms, back of your arms, back of your shoulder blades, back of your head. We are toiling not in our own strength, but in his. Finding the strength and the stillness of your legs up the wall. We can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. Three, two, one, dropping into happy baby. Finding what might feel good. What feels good in this movement of happy baby? And now release your feet, pressing them away from your spine. Reach your hands above your head. This is where we create our own traction machine. Pressing one foot away from the spine as you reach your opposite hand behind you. And you feel your spine lengthening. Can you feel space between each vertebrae? You are bringing space between your vertebrae. And we'll draw the left leg in. Interlaced hands below the left knee to draw the leg in close or towards you anyway. And then spin. the left ankle. Turning that ankle both directions. And bring the leg to the right for spine twist. I am your living God, far more abundantly alive than the most vivacious person you know. The human body is wonderfully crafted, but gravity and the inevitable effects of aging weigh it down. Even the most superb athlete cannot maintain his fitness over many decades. Lasting, abundant life can be found in me alone. Do not be anxious about the weakness of your body. Instead, view it as the prelude to my infusing energy into your being. And we'll bring the hips back to the mat. Straighten the left leg down, draw the right leg in, and circle the right ankle. Circling both directions. And let's bring the leg to the left for spine twist. I will finish up the second half of the devotional here. As you identify more and more fully with me, my life becomes increasingly intertwined with yours. Though the process of aging continues, inwardly you grow strong with the passing years. Those who live close to me develop an inner aliveness that makes them seem youthful in spite of their years. Let my life shine through you as you walk in the light with me. Bringing the hips back to the mat, drawing both knees in, wrap your arms. Our final movement here on our back is turning the knees in a circle as you press your low back towards the mat. Circling both directions, just like we started this morning, right? How does it feel? Feel a little different from the beginning of our practice to the end? And then letting the body, your body, fall to one side. Whew. Feeling the support of the ground under the side of your body. Hanging here through a couple breaths. It reminds our nervous systems that, what? We're not in a hurry. We are not in a hurry. And as you're ready, use the palms of your hands to press your body up. And I'll meet you in simple seated. Oh, find your simple seated, tailbone rooting for the earth, stirring at the crown of your head, drawing your head up. How is that contentment and ease in your face going this morning? How about those shoulders softened away from your ears? We'll bring the hands up heart center. Take a breath in, reaching your heart up towards your thumbs. And on your exhale, let your breath and your shoulders drop low. There you go, my friends. Thank you for joining me here for another Stretch and Flow devotional. Until we can move and breathe together again, I bid you God's peace. Shalom.